Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. It's Tina at Tina Stitches. Today is Saturday, October 12th. It has been about 4 weeks since my last video. Life, happens. One weekend it wasn't good timing, and then the next weekend it was busy. It was 1 week where I wasn't in the mood, so no mood, no time, lots of stitching got done, just no videos made. So, not a whole lot has been happening on the personal life front. Did you know this is video number 50? You know what that means? Stick around. I have my list of what I've worked on. Since the last video, which looks like it was 4 weeks ago. So I have haul and progress, and stick around to the end and you might find something you might like. Where should I start? I do have something else to share. I'm going to include it in haul because it's haul. So I guess I will just go on with the whips because that's all that I have. Whips and haul. No finishes because these are all pretty big whips. So guess we'll get on with that. First one that I am going to show is one of the, I think it's a fan favorite. It's one of my favorites, and I really enjoy working on it. I should work on it more, and I say that every time I pick it up. And here's where it was before. Of course, I'm talking about Royal Tudor Mendala by Chatelaine. So that was before, and what it's supposed to look like. And here it is now. And I finished off the crown, and I brought a little bit of the black down here and started on the, did I start that? I'm not even sure if that was there before or not, but the fence post here. These, when I stitched them originally, I not exactly miscounted, but I did not do the top one. So I had to add the top topiary on both sides. And I finished off the crown, and I did the back stitching up to the point where I have to add the Jessica stitches, and then I can finish the back stitching where the Jessica stitches touch. I don't know if you could hear that scratching noise, but that was Khaleesi. She's in here with me. So that's where this is now. And there is a lot of sparkle on this. I believe there's like 5 shades of gold just to do that crown. I still have to do the whisper on the bottom edge. Not looking forward to that. So this is stitched on 32 count white opal Lugana. I'm sure it's Lugana. So there's a little extra sparkle in the fabric, but you can't tell. So there's that. The next one I'm going to show you is another, I keep saying it's another favorite. Everybody has a different favorite. This is one of mine. But I think I'm going to make a little change to it, and you'll see why. This is England's Rose needlework project from a magazine it's in the pile here. Just take a second to get it out. It's from the Stitchery magazine. And everything falls over. Okay. It's from this issue of the Stitchery magazine. March 1998, which is what I was thinking it was, but... And I'm calling it England's Rose. That's what the magazine called it too. It's designed by Catherine Coleman of the Regal Needle, creator of needlework fit for a king. I don't know which one is her designer name, because honestly, this is the only place where I've seen it. I don't know if they're using that as a phrase. Meet Catherine Coleman, creator of needlework fit for a king. Like, are they just describing her needlework? Or is that the name of... Because, I don't know. I'm confused. If anybody knows, let me know. Comment down below. So, anyways, if you've been following me, you've seen that I've been making changes. I'll insert a picture here of what it's supposed to look like. The picture in the magazine is teensy wincy. It's only like an inch. There's the picture. Yeah. So, I'm making changes because some of the flosses have since been discontinued, and I'm just going with my own colorway. And I purchased Threadworks in the Krynic Pearl, the 6-strand embroidery floss, and in, I think it's number 8 pearl, in a colorway that is burgundy / pink. And anyways, I really should make some show notes and just copy and paste them over. So, anyways, here's where I am. Last time you saw it, there would not have been this work here. This is definitely new. This is new. Might have added a couple of roses. I believe that corner. I believe this is new. It's all very pretty. The one thing that I am definitely going to change is this here is called a continental stitch, I believe, for four-sided continental stitch, something like that. It's supposed to be a background stitch, and in the magazine you don't even notice, doesn't even look like it's stitched, and it was in a pale dusty rose kind of color. And I thought, well, this is the Threadworks 6-strand conversion. That's what I bought it for. And I tried it, and I don't like the way, if it was just red, I would consider leaving it, but because it goes to the pale pink, it disappears. And so I will be taking that out, and I might replace it with a Victorian motto red that I got in one of those flower packs. So this is where it's at. There's a lot of sparkle again, but just can't see all of it. Let me try. I don't know if that really helped much. I know you can see the sparkle on the beads, but not so much on the thread. So anyways, that's England's Rose by the Regal Needle. I really should look up stuff on the internet before I start talking words. So, on my last video, I believe I spun the wheel to decide on what I was going to stitch, and it picked 100 stitches of gray, I believe. And so I decided this would be a good opportunity to bring out Beneath the Harvest Moon by Whispered by the Wind. And here is where it was before. And here it is now. And this is not all from right after that video. After that video, I did 100 stitches, which was a couple of these raggedy bits and the sleeve, and then I put it away for a couple days, and then I picked it up on October 1st to start dark October stitching, and I did a lot more, as you can see, and I was getting a little bit tired of the gray, so I went on to some black, get some birds in there, and that's how far it is now. If I kept at this, I might be able to have it done by the end of October. But I've been stitching on other things. I don't follow the rules. I can't just stitch on one thing. I find that if I'm mark things down for certain SALs, I tend not to be drawn to those projects. I know, a little weird. So I did stitch on this for Dark October, and I did about 4 days. Yeah, 4 days, and then it was like, I have to switch. So I switched out to something that is kind of Halloweenish, but not in a traditional sense. It's definitely not dark. So, anyways, here is progress for Harvest Moon by Whisper by the Wind. Stitched on 32 count Nocturne by Picture This Plus. This is the same fabric that I am stitching the Nora Corbett reindeer on. This is the leftover piece. I don't think I have any more. I think this was just the right size for it. So I left it in the hoop because I would like to stitch on it some more. So yeah, we'll see if I do. Because I say I will and then I don't. So then I decided, well, no, I didn't decide. I was told somewhere that it was finishing week. So I decided to pull out something that was kind of close to a finish. And for me, that was Halloween Fairy. By Nora Corbett. From a magazine. It's also available on Hirschner's, I believe, as a separate pattern. This is from September 2008. So I have the Halloween magazine version. I'm going to show you where I was before. And I worked on this for 3 days for that Get It Finished weekend on the 20th of September. And I didn't have a lot left to finish just the fairy. Now here's something. It is called Halloween Fairy. There's no wings on this fairy. So, yeah, so I had most of the dress done and the pumpkins are done. You saw the picture where it was before. And here it is now. Pumpkins, like I said, the pumpkins are finished. And I finished off the rest of the fairy. The skin still needs to be, all that needs to be done for her is the back stitching. Everything that's left to do is either Krynic or beads. And that's still on its way. I placed an order. A little bit disappointed that it's not here yet, because I wanted it here, but it's not. So that's where that is. And once again, won't take much to get it finished by the end of the month for Halloween. So that's another one in the plans of to work on. There's still more. Like I said, I've been stitching. So, the beginning of the month, I believe, I could be wrong, I should look shit up. It was the change of seasons in Australia. They went from winter to spring. And I haven't seen any of the Australian ladies stitching their queens lately, so I don't even know if that's going on. But they were, a year ago, stitching a queen of Mirabilia, Queens of the Seasons, in the seasons that they were in. And so I've started, at that time, Dressmakers Daughter by Mirabilia, and working on each dress in the season of the Australian seasons year. And so I started with spring and so on. And the beginning of the month, I believe, was the time to change which one I was working on. So I started working on spring again. And here's where this was last time you saw it. And here it is now. And that's not going to work. And here it is now. So much more up here got done. I only had up until that first ruffle there. It was partway finished, and then I worked on more background and working it towards the top. And then I spun the wheel this week, and it came up with orange. And I already had the pumpkins for Halloween Fairy finished, and the only other orange I could find easily that came to mind was on the Just Nan cat cube design that I started for Mania, which I believe I've only touched once since then. And that didn't feel, I wasn't feeling it. It's a spring type project, and we're at Halloween, Thanksgiving season. So I decided instead, I looked at my Dressmaker's Daughter again and noticed the part next to spring, summer, has an orange background. So I decided to work on that. So I got my required number of stitches in for the orange, and I also worked on filling in that background, because there's a lot of background. And this is what corner I'd be working in there. So it's getting progress. It seems slow. I only pick it up a couple days a month, so it's pretty good progress for just a couple days a month. That was what, number 5? Yeah, number 5. I got 2 more to show you. The next one is the one that I work on my lunch breaks. And sometimes I don't get a lunch break, and sometimes customers are TIAs. Let's just say yesterday I had a rude customer I work in a retail pharmacy. We are small town. Personally, our store is not open on the weekends. It's a long weekend, so it was crazy busy, and this one guy demanded attention. We gave him attention, and then he's pointing out that we're not giving other customers attention because we are giving him attention. Anyways, some people. So, I haven't stitched on this very much because I don't get much of a lunch break. I am entitled to an hour. I personally just don't do it. Anyways, this is Tubby Nutcracker by Sweetheart Tree. And I believe the last time I showed it, I explained that I had to frog that boot. So I frogged the boot. Here's where it was before. And here's where it is now. And he looks funny. He's pretty freaky looking. Because of the 1/1 face, when I had the black on my needle to do the black stitching in the eye, I just went ahead and started doing the back stitching because it's all back stitched in black. So that's why he looks odd. He looks like he's wearing an eye patch or only got makeup done on one eye. So that's where it is now. According to this, I worked on it for 5 days. So that would be fixing the boot, finishing the 1/1 face, and now I have the whisper hat. And back stitching, and then this beautiful border to do. This is stitched on, I'm guessing it's 32 count. Definitely linen. And it was just something that I found in my stash. I thought it would work nicely. So there's that, and another one of those, if I just picked it up and worked on it some more, it could get done. And I mean, I have a couple months to finish it before Christmas, so maybe. The last project that I have to share is the one that I've been working on probably the most out of all of them. And I think that it has the most significant visual, you can notice how much stitching was done. And this is the other one that I picked up after Harvest Moon, I picked this one up because I thought, you know what, she's dressed up. That's definitely, I think it qualifies as Halloween. Why not? Alice by Mirabilia. And here's where it was before. I really should look at these before pictures before I come on, but I always end up adding them at the editing stage. And here it is now. This is being stitched on 32 count Candy Duo by Extrude Designs. It is pink with light blue modeling, which you can kind of see. And I finished all the purple in here, all of the purple and black over here. Believe the green was not finished, the white was not finished. There's even some white up here, which starts the backdrop curtain. And I also finished the entire ribbon. So over here is where the giant pocket watch goes, and I am considering stitching that in the treasure braid, like the crowns are on the Royal Tudor Mendala. A lot of people have decided to take out the backdrop. I'm going to leave it in. I bought the Karen water lilies, and that's the only place they're used, is in the backdrop. So, yeah, I will be stitching that in. I have been undecided about the 1/1 skin. It's not something that I've attempted yet. I had considered it for the Halloween fairy, but I didn't. I might do it for this one. Another thing that I considered is the gloves that she's wearing are black. And I am considering using a black. I have the black treasure braid, but that might be a little too much. But like want to make it look like a silk glove. Maybe. I don't have any black silk. I don't think I do anyways. So there is Alice by Mirabilia. And I probably spent about 8 days working on her. And that is all the stitching I have to show. I would love to show you Beloved. Beloved by Heaven and Earth Designs. I haven't worked on it very much. I am very close to having that row finished. But I haven't finished doing what I want to do before I show it again. So you'll just have to stay tuned to find out what happens. That's all the stitching that I've done over the last 4 weeks, aside from the little bit I did on Beloved. I plan to work on my Halloween fairy as soon as I get the remaining supplies for that. Harvest Moon may see a few more days of work. Mirabilia's Alice may also see some more work. Dressmaker's Daughter. It's a nice one to pick up. It's got big blocks of color, so it's relatively easy. Especially after a hard day. And Royal Tudor Mendala, I don't have any plans to pick it up, but I should. So we'll see. Same with England's Rose. We will see. So that is all the stitching that's done, and I think it's time for haul. I was very fortunate there's about 2 days of stash unloads that's what I want. I want that, I want that, I want that. I got plenty of patterns, about a dozen patterns from about 4 different sellers, maybe 3. I can't remember. So, and the funny thing is, I'm pretty sure it was four sellers, and I only got 2 designers' charts. So 2 sellers were selling Sweetheart Tree, and 2 sellers were selling Nora Corbett. So I will just go through these pretty quickly, just so you can get a little glimpse of what I got. Nantucket Rose, another quick one. There's about 4 of them here. I got them all. Thinking about, quick stitches, gifts, just little things. Teeny Hardanger 1. And these all came with included the charms needed. This is Spring Blossoms Fob. Colonial Roses Pinky. And Shamrock Sampler. I believe all of those were from one seller. And then this one was from a different seller. Don't bug me when I'm stitching. Did not include the embellishment. It looks like it was a kit, but I just got the chart, and it was worth it. This next stack is Nora Corbett / is there a mirror? Yes, there's one mirror, and I don't know which ones I got from where. So there is Jasmine, Pixie Couture Collection, Bluebell, ivy, holly, wisteria, and I think this is the one that I am going to start. Poppy. And I'm pretty sure all of these are still available at, your local needle workshop or 123 Stitch, wherever you want to get your patterns from. Those are all the Nora Corbett, and this one, April's Blue Diamond, is the Mirabilia. And that is all my haul from Stash Unload. Now, all of those, it wasn't a bundle, buy 3 charts and I'll ship them to you. They were all one by one. So I picked them one by one. Then I get them and I realized I have that pattern. So guess what? Passing it on. I am doing a draw, and in this draw, it is to say thank you for subscribing and sticking around for as long as you have. And I mentioned 2 videos ago that I was going to do this. It's my 50th video. So that's one reason why I'm doing this. And, well, that's the reason why I'm doing it. Say thank you. And I had started an order, like I said, and then I realized the sale wasn't starting right away, so I kept my browser screen open, and then for whatever reason, I deleted the order. I had to start new. So some of the things that I was thinking about getting for the draw didn't happen. But that's okay. So what I am going to definitely throw in there, like I mentioned, on the last video or the video before, I'm definitely throwing in these treasure braids and Dinky Dyes silk because I ordered too many and I don't need that many. And I'm also throwing in jasmine because I got 2 copies of it and I don't need 2 copies of it. It's a beautiful chart. It's one of the Pixie Couture collection, so it's not huge. It is 113 by 160, which works out to about 7 by 10 on 32 count or 16 count. So this, and I might even kit up the specialty, the Mill Hill beads and the Krynic that are required for this. And I might have a piece of fabric that I can throw in. So, a little bit of bling and a chart, and all you have to do is say I want to enter somehow. How are we going to say that? Don't say giveaway. Please subscribe. Tell me which Nora Corbett pattern is your favorite. Doesn't have to be jasmine, but if it is, even better for you. Yeah. And then I will know to enter you in the draw. I think that is about all. I didn't show you the biggest piece of haul. It's pretty big. It's like this big. This big. I got on Facebook Marketplace again. A gentleman was selling some old furniture, and this one popped out at me. I've been looking for something similar to this for quite a while to bring into here, specifically for my cross-stitch fabric patterns. Well, not patterns, but the finished projects, etc. So, let's see if I can just turn the camera and show you. And of course, the cable might get stuck. Okay. So I got this cabinet off of a Facebook Marketplace. Inside the top are 3 drawers. Which I can fill up with anything. And 2 bigger drawers on the bottom. So that's my new fabric cabinet. And there's my desk, there's the mess. Look at that. This is where I film from One Direction. So that was my other bit of haul. This is the cabinet that used to be over there. This is my floss box. All my metallics, beads, everything, DMC, it's all in there. So that's my overflow cabinet. So, just thought I would share that with you. And, yeah, I think that's everything. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend. It's beautiful here. We had a little bit of snow flurry, but no snow. Just dusting the snow was on the ground this morning when I woke up, so I was quite surprised, actually. We should have a lot more. I know areas west of us are in a deep snow warning watch zone, so any minute now, any day, we're going to get a hit, a big hit. Not looking forward to that. It is getting cooler out, but it's not horrible. I've been okay with it. So I hope everybody has a good weekend, good long weekend for Canadians, and get lots of stitching done. Talk to you later. Bye.